because something kept popping up. I wrote about it in my newsletter, and I've had a few one-to-ones where this has come up as well, and I've kind of codified it and made me realize that there's something that I want to tell you guys. I feel like having this mindset, no matter where you want to get into your terms of your music career and what you want to do with it, this will trip you up at the first hurdle. And the idea is what I'm calling scarcity versus abundance, a scarcity mindset versus an abundance mindset in terms of your music. Okay, so what does that mean? So to me, a scarcity mindset basically comes from a belief that there's something special that happens in your music. There's something special is external from you, right? So you create a great song and you've externalized that into that song is great. And there's an inherent belief that the amount of greatness that can come out is limited in some kind of way, right? So I'll explain this further with a few examples. If you've just written an incredible banger, an absolute amazing song, and you're like, I'm gonna wait till I've got slightly bigger audience to show them this one because this one's one of my best. What you're saying is that you won't be able to replicate that, so you want to kind of capitalize on the opportunity. So you feel like there's a limitation on the amount of greatness that you can create. Another good example is if you've written something, but low-key you don't really want to play it to anyone or put it out on social media too far because you don't want someone to kind of steal it and then call it their idea, which is valid. Like, that's something that can definitely happen. But again, there's this idea that if you put that and release that and let someone else have that and it does get stolen, there's that feeling of, oh, I won't be able to replicate the greatness again and make it happen again. I need to protect this particular thing. Another example that I'll give, probably the last one, is if, for example, you're choosing not to write anything or not to make something until you have a great idea, right? So in this case, you're kind of invalidating all your own personal skills and all of your knowledge and everything that you've acquired to create great music, and you're waiting for that inspiration. You're waiting for that something external to come in and say, now's the time for you to write something great. You've had a great idea, and it can only come from that. So in all of these instances, right, there's a hesitancy to let something escape, to let something basically, like, not in like a voodoo way, but let something be free, and put something out there, and then know that you'll be able to in the future create something more. Which brings me on to my next part, the abundance mindset. On the flip side of that, we have this idea of knowing that the thing that's created isn't the thing that's great. You, the creator, is the thing that's great, right? Like, and this is the mindset that I believe is so powerful. When you have an abundance mindset, you recognize that if you've created something great and sounds amazing, the thing that's special isn't the song's amazing, but you're the one that did that. So you feel easy, you feel free to release that, knowing that you'll be able to do that in the future again if needs be, right? When you have this mindset, it shifts your whole perspective on music career in the music industry. A great example is, you see all of these videos that I make it in front of you guys. I share my whole session. I don't really mind what you guys see, copy this, that, and the other. It's great, because even if you were to copy exactly what I do in the videos, that's amazing, because you don't have the mind that I have to be able to create the next thing that I'm going to create. The special thing isn't what I make in the videos. The special thing is the creator, right? So there's that abundance. I put the videos out, you guys see everything, and it doesn't matter to me. There's no secret source that I need to hold on to that makes me special. No, it's just the acquisition of the things I've learned over a certain period of time. I'll get into a few other ways that my mindset can change just by this simple switch. So the release strategy is a great example. If I make something great that I really enjoy, I put it out. I put it out quickly. I put it out so that other people can listen to it as fast as possible. Why? Because that same feeling of, oh my goodness, I only want people to listen to this once I've got 1,000 fans. The fact is, that song could be the one to get you to 1,000 fans if you do release it. If you do push it out to the 5 people, and you show your best hand, you put it down, and then by the time you get to your 1,000, whatever arbitrary goal you have, know that at that point you'll be able to create something fresh all over again. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense, right? So have this feeling of like letting music be free, like a river. Just let it flow, make loads of it, and put it out in any way you can, and don't be too precious. It's really, really hard to do. It's something that I struggle with. I still struggle with in certain aspects, but I think overall there's a net positive to it, right? I can think of a few examples. I'll say a few examples now, right? So a good example is if you've got a beat channel, right? You're doing your beats. Obviously, you put them out there. If they're getting stolen, that's annoying. That's annoying. I'm not advocating for anyone to steal beats. That's like, it's trash, right? But the fact is, you can't let the fact that they could get stolen stop you from putting the beats out there in the first place. You have to put the beats out there in the first place. And if they do get stolen, fight the fight, talk the talk, do what you got to do. But know that you're the person that can create the next beat that's going to do numbers, do this, do that, do that. So the fact that they've stolen a beat is kind of just like a residual. It's just like, that's just something you have. If you want the prize, you're the prize. Does that make sense? So this scarcity versus the abundance mindset is like super, super important, because if you're still working in that scarcity kind of frame, you're going to be kind of fighting yourself, where you kind of want people to hear it, but you don't want too many people to hear it, but you want to make more music, but you don't quite want to make more music until it's good enough to against the music that you've already made. And all of that basically hinders your own personal growth, which is the main issue. The main issue is if you're not being able to create fast enough to rapidly improve and rapidly get better and get better and get better. The way that I look at it, which I think could be super, super helpful for some people, especially in the early areas of my career, and something that I still apply to this day, is this idea of create something with the aim of learning something new. And then as soon as it's done, put it in a place where it feels like it can't be touched again. So I don't like putting it on a hard drive, because you have it on your hard drive, you can open it up 2, 3, 4 weeks again and then come in and butcher the whole thing all over again, right? If you want something to be finished and you feel like, yep, that's done, put it on BeatStars, put it on YouTube, put it on Insta, put it on a place where it's in public, 1, and then 2, you have less of an incentive to go back and fiddle with it. Like, it's just very difficult to do once it's out there in the world. Just be like, oh, can I just take that song back off of streaming services so that I can tweak the kick? No, just leave it out and then start the next one and push that and whatever. And then before you know it, the ball is rolling, and then whatever part of the music career you're trying to grow, you're in it and you're doing it and you're pushing it forward and you're making that happen. Whereas with scarcity, you'll get to a point where you're reiterating over maybe the same 4, 5, 6 songs, not seeing any particular growth, because you're not showing people, you're not showing enough people, you're not showing relevant people, right? Yeah, take a chance on that. Take a chance to see how it works for you. I know it was a bit of a ramble, but to get down to some key action points, like I'm saying, release, put things out in the world. Don't worry about if something feels special holding on to it. If something feels special, if you've got a beat or you've got a song that feels incredible, that's all the more reason to give it to the world and let what happens happen. At the end of the day, this is the main point. Whatever you've made isn't the special sauce, right? You're the special sauce, right? What you know and what you can do is the thing that's incredible. Pharrell has hits on hits on hits on hits on hits, but the fact is, those hits aren't what make him special. They're just proof of what he is as a person, right? So we got to give props to the producer for being able to make those incredible things, not just the songs themselves, right? They're just proof that he knows what he's doing. So think about it that way. You've got your songs, you've got your tracks, you've got your records, and recognize that all of these things that you're putting out into the world aren't your validation and your worth. They're just tokens to prove to the world that you are about that life, that you are as good as you are. Do you know what I'm saying? That's enough rambling from me. I hope that makes sense. I've got a daily newsletter if you want more tips and stuff like that, where I'll go into some more mindset things. So I'll leave a description for that below. And then obviously all these one-to-ones I'm having are from the Producer Accelerator. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll leave a description in below for that. I just rambled on, but I really hope it makes sense. I wrote some notes, I didn't even really use them. If you want me to clarify this further, I absolutely will. But in the meantime, I love you guys. Have a great morning, evening, day or night, and peace out.